Guys, welcome back to the shop. We're going to get this all in one take. There's a lot of noise going on outside, so we're going to be quick about it. I have just finished the budget Big Red, and I got all the numbers in. I want to share them with you and kind of figure out, you know, where we landed on this. Remember, the original project was to get a Big Red, or anything for that matter, set a budget and stick to it. Look how that turned out, guys. 1985 Honda 250 ES Big Red. Now, this is something that y'all can do. That's what we do here. That's what the channel's about. It's showing you little tips and tricks on how to make the most out of what you have. You know, we all can't find them in the crate, and you know, even if you found one in the crate, would you take it out and use it? You know, probably not. This is something that's been used its entire life. It looked really sad, but look at it now. Look how it turned out, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you, we're under budget. There's still some room in the budget if we needed or wanted to do something else. Today we got the last piece of the puzzle, which was a rack, and if you could look close, you can tell this is a much better rack than the one we had here on the table. I was transferring everything over, and it's you know, it's bad. So that rack is shot, but it took me a while to find a rack, and that's what took so long. I had to make some mounts here on the top. I just came off the top of the triple trees here and made a mount for the light. That light came with this machine, and it's another $200 to find the correct light for this machine. It's just, when you set a budget, you got to work with what you have, and honestly, if you're just measuring light output, this is far brighter than any original you know, 1985 incandescent light bulb. So from an upgrade standpoint, it's definitely got to upgrade in lighting. Let's just start here at the beginning and kind of go over everything we did. We cleaned and painted the wheels first and foremost. We adjusted the front brakes and got them working. Put on a rack that we picked up actually off a marketplace. Met a fella, Joe, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. It's going to go to a new home. Of course, we can't, you know, not talk about the plastics. These are the ABS plastics. You hear they have a different kind of sound to them, but the original mud flat bolts right up to it. I think they show very well at 20 feet. Really, they look so much better. They make the tank look bad, and the tank does look bad. But that's not in our budget right now. It could be in our budget later, but not right now. We got our new hardware that's in the budget. We repurposed this light, but we did have to make some mounts. The original mount was on the rack, and I didn't like that because it made the light really low, and you couldn't use the rack for anything. If you wanted to mount a winch here or carry something here, a tool bag or lunch or whatever, you can. I've elevated the light. I like the light here. This is about where the factory light would sit, about this height. So kind of just put it back where it belongs, but it is an upgrade as lighting goes. We've got an aftermarket lever here. We've got a new brake cable going to the back. We got new Honda grips on the machine. We were able to source out some parts from the boneyard. This upper triple tree mount here, that's used out of my boneyard. These lower or upper clamps here that hold the handlebars on, they were both stripped out, and the dash was held on with zip ties. I had both of these clamps. The dash is now bolted on. It ain't going nowhere. The tank is untouched. The tank is exactly like it came. Just wiped it down. It is clean on the inside, which is good, but it is caved in pretty bad. We're going to let the next owner, you know, worry about that. Motor is untouched other than a service. We changed the oil filter, and the air filter. Everything else is exactly the way it came in on, you know, the way we found it. Again, our aftermarket plastics, we were missing the right side cover, but we had this one, and that does bring up an interesting element when you are changing out new parts. Over there in the corner, you'll see it there sitting on the pad. We can sell that cover. That cover's $75 to $100. That goes back to the budget. We didn't need to do that to stay under budget, but we could. Under this upholstery, this is the original 85 seat. I reupholstered the seat. It turned out really good. This is an aftermarket cover. As you can tell, it's black. The 85 would have been black. You know, it lays down good. It has not been in the sun yet, but this goes back to buying a pneumatic stapler, and you just use it and use it and use it. I've done probably 10 or 12 seats now with that tool. It's an inexpensive $30 stapler, and it just makes the machines look so much better with a new cover on them. We didn't paint anything. I'm not a big painter of, I'm not trying to hide anything. I don't like to walk up and see fresh spray paint on everything. I like to try to let it show the way that it is. I got this rack today. I didn't paint it. I put it on, but I did wipe it down. It is clean. Here we've got our hitch on the back. I did end up putting 2 more bolts in it. Some of the bolts were missing on the rear rack. We've got new brake cable and rear hardware. The little hardware on the back is new. And this was... Actually, I made a TikTok. Y'all know I'm kind of old for TikTok, but I made one about these tail lights, and TikTok shut it down. I have no idea why. They did eventually put it back up, but I did have to argue with them and find out why. Speaking of taking off OE parts that maybe somebody else could use and then repurposing them that way, using them, you know, as cash, we traded the right rear fender off this machine and the trunk lid to a fella, and Jeff, I appreciate it, and he traded us for, we now have a trunk which was cracked all the way across the bottom, but we hot stapled it and it's as solid as it ever was, and we put some new hardware and put it back in here. So we were missing the trunk, but now we have it. I think that's just a good selling point for this machine. It makes a really nice repair on your plastics. Thought this was an opportunity to try these plastics, give y'all my personal opinion on them. If you like them, there's going to be a link in the description for these. Actually, there's going to be a link in the description for everything we did on this machine. So if you're needing a few of these or all of these parts, be sure and go down there in the description. You can follow the link. I am an affiliate. That means I get a commission from the seller. It doesn't cost you any extra. So I appreciate it. If you need the parts, follow the link. It helps me out, helps the channel out. And I keep making decisions like this. I figured out I'm not an influencer. I'm a bad influencer. So I influence people to go and spend their money on ATVs. So that being said, we've got a lot of LED lights on here, but how do they look? Let's find out. I think they look great, guys. I did not have to cut these openings. These are the fit in the factory openings of your plastics. I did have to increase the height of them, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. I mean, just barely, not even worth really talking about, but to get a really good fit, that's what I did. And I used a Dremel. You could use a file, you could use a piece of sandpaper, but it was very minimal to make these lights fit. I'll insert some footage of that. I had to rewire them because the original wiring harness was missing and gone. So we just piggybacked them just like the factory did. But look how bright those are. It's not going to run your battery down like an incandescent will. And I mean, I think you're going to see that from a long distance. As for the headlight, how did it turn out? I think the headlight turned out really good. It's super bright. Watch your eyes. There's your warning, guys. Definitely modern, definitely brighter than it ever was. You can see it really lights the shop up there. But yeah, overall, I think it's really good. We're building a budget Big Red. So where are we at on the numbers? Well, let's just kind of take a moment and we'll go over them. This is the board here. I kind of started getting a little more organized with ordering parts and machines and things of that nature. And I wanted a big board, so I went ahead and just got a 4x8. So we paid $300 for the machine, $315 for the plastics. Let me give you a trick on eBay. Let's say you want to buy these plastics. You go look at the plastics, but don't buy them. Just look at them. Then close eBay and wait. You'll get a notification the next day, probably maybe even a couple hours. You'll get a notification of that exact same item for less money. They will give you a discount. It's a great opportunity to make a good deal if you're looking for something. The plastics, I went back to copy the link to make this video, and the very next day they sent me a discount less than this price. So learn from my mistake. You can pick these up now. I believe they offered them to me for $2.95 with free shipping. You can't beat it, guys. Plastics for me were $3.15. Brakes and brake nuts and wing nuts, $18. Some of these parts I had. These handlebars I had. The ones on here were bent. The upper triple trees I had. The little wing nuts, just the things that I had, I still assigned a value to be fair to you, but I did have them on property in the boneyard. Lucky. So I signed $18 for wing nuts and cables. We did buy a new cable. We did buy a new lever. I had the bars, $25 if you had to buy those. Remember, used parts now, not new. The top triple tree clamp, $15. You can find that used on eBay for that. Wheel, paint, and tape, $22. Paint ain't cheap no more. The front rack, paid $100 for it today. Really happy. My Uncle Larry helped me out with that, and the fellow that sold it, his name was Joe. So, $100 for our front rack. That's that was off of Marketplace, not off of eBay. So always look for Marketplace too. Parts, maybe even find a whole machine and reach out to the person and see if they've got any parts. We got factory OE grips, $16. Tune-up plug, oil change and filter, $15. I buy those in bulk. That's how I get that price. Air filter is the inexpensive yellow one. The seat cover was $35. Hardware, washers, wire, crimps, connectors, things like that. 20 bucks I allotted for that. Tail lights, there's the big one, guys. $23 for tail lights. Original tail lights are $100, $115 each. That's a huge win if you're not looking to buy original tail lights. The trunk with shipping, now this is important. I traded plastics for plastic trunk, and I still ended up expending shipping money. So I put $25 here for shipping, which brings us now to a grand total to $943. And I got to tell you, that's hard to believe. I had, I assigned a cost to even the parts that I already had, which some people would say were free, but everything has a cost. So don't fall into that trap. Everything, if you had to replace it, it would cost you money. So even when we traded for parts, we still ended up costing us shipping. $943, guys. We have less than $1,000 in this machine, and we still have the left side cover, OE plastics, that we could sell. That would probably get us $75 to $100 back in our pocket. We could put that and put it into some tires. Y'all know I hate these tires. I really wanted to change these rear tires out. They're very, very heavy. It just wasn't in the budget, guys. It wasn't in the budget. But what a cool machine. You could buy this right now and just enjoy it like it is and be proud of it for what it is. It's a 1985, the first year of the Big Red 250 ES. It just leave it like it is and use it every day on your property, and you would never go wrong with that. You could take it and you could lift it. You could put big wheels and tires on it, or just different tires. You could put another tank on it. What I'm trying to tell you is this is a plateau. This is a starting point. If you want to buy and fix equipment and sell it, this is where you stop. You start customizing stuff and lifting stuff and exhaust and performance parts and stuff, you're never going to get that money back. If your sole purpose is to buy something, fix it, and sell it, this is where you stop. You put in some money, you get the maximum in return for your time. Let's talk about time. Time, I've probably got, if you added up all the time, I've probably got 10 hours in it, and that's everything. That's going to get in the rack. That's spending time on the internet, ordering parts. That's time out here in the shop. Mechanically, this machine really didn't need a lot. We were very lucky. But this is how quick a cheap $300 Big Red turns into a $1,000 Big Red. But doesn't it look great? So if you're wondering, yes, I'm going to sell it. I'm not going to keep it. If you're interested in this, it's going to pop up on Marketplace probably by the time you see this video. I'll post it in Honda Hoarders and ATC Collectors. Those are two groups on Facebook. I really don't do sales on threewheelerworld.com, but that's a great site if you need parts or information. Be sure and check that out. It's very easy to search threewheelerworld.com. You can go in there and type in anything you need to know, any information, you can look it up and it's there. I think the search function is better there than on Facebook. Facebook is more about buying and selling, meeting and talking to people. But if you want in-depth information, how to fix things, what works and what doesn't, what parts interchange, threewheelerworld.com is a great place to do that. There it is, guys. I can't belabor anymore. It's a solid machine. It doesn't need a whole lot more. Got a little choke going on. There we go. Proof's in the pudding, fellas. There it is. 1985 Honda 250 ES Big Red. LEDs all the way around. It doesn't smoke. it runs and drives and shifts like it's supposed to. And I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad to have brought it back from the near dead. Yes, it was running when we got it, but it had had such a bad life. I'm glad to see it brought back this condition to where it can be enjoyed for another, who knows, what, 30 years? Yeah, it could happen. They're going to run forever. I like them. I like the little headlight. I mean, if you didn't have a headlight, that's a good size headlight, and it is wicked bright. I like them being mounted with the handlebars compared to some machines. So when you turn, you can see. That's not always the case. Say your four-wheelers, a lot of four-wheelers, the headlights are always straight. Having them on the handlebars like that, the light is always where you're going. So that's always good. Merch. Did y'all know I got merch? If you look down in the corner of the video there, you'll see a shop icon. If you click on that, it'll go to a merch store. Got a lot of merch over there. And if you don't know, the merch is customizable. You can go over there, you can pick my logo, and you can put it on a blue shirt or a red shirt or a green shirt or whatever color shirt you want in the size you want. It's 1, 2, 3 clicks, and it's headed your way. So if you don't mind, and if you're interested in some merch, we've got hats and bags and shirts and hoodies and all that kind of stuff over there. And it's small, but take a moment, take a look, see what you think. Give me some feedback on it. Do you like it? Do you not like it? That's fine. I mean, this is how these YouTube channels grow. And speaking of growing, we've got a lot of content coming up. I don't know if you looked in the background, but we've got a Murray hard drive. Picked it up 2 days ago. We're going to do a will it run on it. It does not run, but really robust, adult size, but small go-kart. Really cool, really cool machine. Believe it or not, I can fit in it, so I bought it. And this interesting thing that's taking up a lot of space here is a Cushman truckster. If you know anything about Cushman trucksters, wow, give me a call. Scratching my head on that one. I may have bit off a little more than I can chew, but we're going to try. So look forward to that content coming up. We've got some ATC 70 coming up. We've got some more motor work on some 350Xs, and we got to have a ride day. We're just going to ride stuff. And so I worked on the track yesterday for a couple hours. It's ready. It's summer. It's a great time to ride it. Thank y'all so much for watching. We made this video. It's almost one take. So thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.